Well, it's a warm welcome to everybody. I hope everyone's okay. And just myself tonight. Rob's not feeling too well, so I hope you feel better soon, buddy. But right, what we're going to be doing tonight is looking at how to create the best listing you can. All right. So, a number of people, ironically, have reached out to us just this last week. And I guess you're all about the same situation or the same stage in the business, and that is you've got your product, you've got it into FBA, or you're just about to send it into FBA. Consequently, you need your listing done. Now, some have got a basic listing up, others are still in the process of creating that listing. So I thought what I'd do tonight is go through the process of how to create that listing for you. All right, so basically I'm going to be choosing a couple of keywords and then going from there. So let's have a jump in and see how we're going to go through this process. So the go-to tool at the moment that I'm using is the AZoptimizer. Now, the AZoptimizer is just one of the software suites. We've had a look at this before. We've had a look at the AZ suite before. So this is part of it, and this is part of my sort of go-to tools as it stands at the moment. All right. So these are the key elements from inside the software that we're going to be looking at. So we're going to be looking at the keyword generator. We're going to be looking at the, we're going to be looking at the 4K generator. We're going to be looking at the optimizing generator, and then I'm going to be talking about the indexing generator. All right. So at the end, we'll be looking at sort of the prices, and here's the link. You're going to have these slides. These are the only slides I've got because what I'd like to do is basically jump into this live and run through this live. So let's do that now. Let's bring that down, and here we are with the optimizer. Now, this is the front end. This is the interface. And you can see that the tools are here on this drop down. So on the generator tools, you can see the keyword generator, the 4K, the optimizer, the indexing generator, and got one down the bottom here, the PPC generator, which we're not going to look at today. All right, so we're going to be looking at most of these. I'm really going to be talking about the indexer as opposed to showing it, because you'll need to make sure you've got your listing up in order to have a look at the indexing aspect of it. So let's have a look at some of the keywords that we're going to be using as seed keywords, let's say. So one of the members came over and said, can you give us a hand on the listing? So here are the keywords that I've got at the moment. So let's have a look at this. We've got loose leaf tea, tea gift set, double walled glass, tea infuser, airtight tea canister, Roccasiliate glass, stainless steel measuring spoon, oolong rooibos. One would assume that's a tea, stainless steel infuser, and drip tray. They're the keywords, seed keywords that that were going to be used for the. Sorry about that. For generating the listing, basically. So where do we go from here? Well, what I basically do is just take this first word here. Okay, so we'll take this first word, loose leaf tea, and then we'll start to actually look at that. So let's copy that, loose leaf tea. So I just do the copy on that, get rid of that, and then go into keyword generator. All right, so keyword generator. So here we are in the keyword generator. So enter the search term. Now I've already copied that from the spreadsheet, so I'm just going to paste that in there, and then I'm going to do retrieve. Okay, Now, what this will do is just go off and it will pull out all of the keywords that are associated with this seed keyword from inside of Amazon itself. Okay, so it's going to look at the search terms that are used inside Amazon, and it's going to give us a set of results. Now, what we do is, if I'm going to come back to this spreadsheet for a second, what we do is we'll do this for all of these seed keywords. Okay, so once we do this, we'll be able to download the set of results, put that into a spreadsheet, move on to the second one, just color that in a different color. Then I'd move on to the third one and do exactly the same. So each of these seed keywords I would copy, put into the analyzer, let the analyzer pull out all of the keywords, and then put those into a master keyword list. All right, so let's have a look, see where we are on this. It's still retrieving. So, right, okay, we've now got that. So if I scroll down now, I can see here that it's got 387 entries or results from that. So basically what I would do there is download the results. Okay. I'm just going to put those on my desktop for the moment. Okay. And then you can open that up. And this is what it looks like. Okay, so I'll just double click this, make these a little bit wider so we can see what's going on, zoom in so you can see the details. Okay, and let's have a look at the results and see what they mean. Okay, I just like to center everything in. It's just the way I am. Okay, loose leaf tea. We're seeing that that's got just under 500,000 search results per month inside of Amazon. It's got a relevancy score of 4.09. Okay, this is out of 5, by the way. So that's pretty good. We've then got all of these other 387, whatever it was. So if I just go down end, 389 plus a few headers at the top here. So we've got 380 plus keywords, with the more relevant ones being listed at the top, based upon that initial keyword of loose leaf tea. Okay, so what I would do now is I would just keep this here. Okay, minimize that, go back to the original spreadsheet. Okay, get tea gift set and just work down each of these and put them into the analyzer. Okay, so I get a new set of results each of that. And once I've got all of those keywords down, I would download each of the results and I'll put them into a master keyword. So instead of saving time or going through that, I've already got that. So here's one I made earlier. Okay, so let me zoom in there. Now, when I first started this, some people might know this, a few years back, I had stainless steel measuring spoons. That was my first product. Wasn't a brilliant product, but it was my first product, put it that way. And when I first started, I was in a similar situation when I was trying to think of keywords. And someone said to me, Paul, go off and find all of the keywords you can associated with your product. So I sat down and I'd done a really good job, and I think I got around 25 keywords, and I was over the moon. Brilliant. I've got 25 keywords. That's got to be like, I'm going to be knocking it out of the park with this one. So I gave the guy a call. I said, right, I've got my keywords together. And he said, how many did you get? I said, oh, around 25. He said, 25? Is that all? You need about 1,000. Well, I nearly fell on the floor. I said, how can you get 1,000 keywords for measuring spoons? Well, ultimately I did. And we can see here, we started off with loose leaf tea, and we've just got one header. So all we've got to do is take one off of the end of this number. So let me just go down to the bottom. So on my keyboard, because I'm using a PC, not a Mac. So I'm going to go Control End. That's going to take me down to the bottom here. So I've got 1,218 keywords. And I dare say there's a few more I could get as well. Okay, so it's over 1,000 keywords in a very short period of time by using a simple tool and a few seed keywords that would have been my 25. One would assume that the 25 keywords that I came up with back then could have been classed as seed keywords. Okay, now some of these down here, wine glasses without stems, is that relevant? Would I use it? No. But for whatever reason, it's been included into this list because the software must have put two and two together and put glass in there somewhere. Someone must have been using glasses as one of the terms associated with tea at some point. Consequently, it's down here. But look at the relevancy score is 0.4. Okay, see, this is one of the things you've got to look at. The relevancy score on the right-hand side, not just the term or the search results. So it's a combination of. So if you scroll back up, I wouldn't bother using anything with a relevancy score under 1. So this is where I would start. So we've still got 796. Bearing in mind we've got one header, so we've got to take one off for this number here. 796 keywords that I could use probably. Now, would I use them all? No, it's too many still. It's too many because Amazon are now only indexing. And what I mean by indexing is if you put a word into your listing and somebody types in a teapot, for example, if we're selling a teapot and we've got teapot in our title, I come along, I'm in the business to buy a teapot today. So I put in the search term teapot. Now, if the Amazon A9 robot or algorithm matches the search term from the potential customer with your listing, it means it's indexed. Okay, it is seeing those words in your listing. Consequently, you've got a chance of being put in front of that customer. In other words, you will be in part of the search results. Now, depending on where you rank, depends on what page you'll come. Okay, but that's what indexing is. All right, so we need to make sure that we are looking at the correct keywords that we want to be indexed for. Now, would I use something like this? Brambleberry cottage. Probably no is the answer. Healthiest tea brands. Maybe, I don't know. But basically what you'd need to do is go through each of these keywords, yeah, and you can, I'm just going to scroll up, so you can see there's all of these, like many keywords. Some of them have got more search terms per month than others, even on a lower relevancy score. So tea gift sets, 209,807, 2.59. Let's make this more relevant. It doesn't like that. So basically it's 2.6 on the relevancy score with 209,807. Is that relevant? Yes, it is. Yeah. If I'm going to be selling tea related products in a set, tea gift set is very relevant. Do I want to get indexed for that? Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I do. So consequently, this is a keyword that I would definitely be using, or a set of keywords, or long-term search term, long-tail keyword, all the same thing. This is definitely something that I would want to put on my list, and I would probably put it in my title because I know that the title gets indexed 100%. So let's have a look at how we build out our master key list. All right, so let's go back over to the optimizer. So one would assume that we've pulled out all of our keywords now. So now it's time to go down to our next tool, which is the 4000K search. All right, so let's have a look at that. Now, what this is on the back end of your Seller Central listing, you have an area where you can put in 4,000 characters. 1,000, you got 4 spaces. Each space you got 1,000 characters. Okay. Now, in the past, this was indexed. At the moment, we're not sure how much of this is indexed, but just to be safe than sorry, we always put this information in. Okay, so the way this works is that you need at least 5 keywords, all right, to put in here. Okay, so you must put those 5 keywords, at least 5. All right. Sometimes it will throw up an error message saying we can't find enough information. Consequently, you just keep on adding more of seed keywords until you've got the right information. You can also select which market you're selling in. So Amazon.com is American, obviously. .co.uk, Canada, Mexico. So I'm going to keep with .com because that's where we're selling. Okay, and I'm going to put in our keywords. Now, I did do this earlier. I took a screenshot of the keywords I put in. So I just want to do the same, just so we've got some continuity. All right. So let's have a look. So basically, and this takes a little bit of time. So again, I've got a, here's one I prepared earlier, sort of thing. So on here, I'm going to put in loose leaf tea. Okay, that's one search term. The next one, tea gift set. Okay, the next one, airtight tea canister. What it was then? Tea infuser is the next one. And then we'll finish up with loose leaf teacup. Okay, so you can see here they're all related. But these are 5 different search terms that the software should be able to generate enough information from in order to generate that 4,000 characters. All right, so once you've got that, just hit retrieve. All right. So while that's trundling off, I just want to go over this software a little bit. In each of these sections, you do have a reminder video on how to use each of these little tools inside the AZoptimizer itself. So if you ever get stuck, just watch this little reminder video in each of the sections, and that should help you through. This does take a little bit of time, but once the results come up, we'll be able to see that it's broken down into the different sections. And I need to let this run through because it's the area where you can actually start to build up your master key list, or the keywords that you're absolutely really want to focus in and get everything onto your listing itself. Okay, so I'm just going to let this run through a little bit. Now, while that's running, I'm just going to bring up the other optimizer. I'm going to bring up Google, Amazon. Sorry. Okay. So while I'm going through this process, what I'm doing is, obviously, we need to do a little bit of research with respect to relevancies and competitors, just to see what the market is like, just to get some ideas on keywords and seed keywords and everything like this. So one of the things I've been doing is looking at one of the products within the set is glass teacup. So I've pulled up a double-walled glass drinking teacup, just to get an idea of some of the keywords they're using, what the listing's like, some of the bullet points, and how it's crafted out. Okay, this is a #1 best-selling product, so it's going to be doing okay. So you can see here we've got the double-walled drinking glasses for coffee in this case, teapot infuser. So there's got a few things relevant to what we're doing because we've got a tea gift set. But some of the things down here I'm going to be taking notice of. I've also been looking at tea infusers. And I'm going to be doing exactly the same thing here. You know, what are the keywords that are associated? Now, I'm going to be paying particular attention to the title because I know the title is 100% indexed. All right. So perfect stainless steel, loose leaf strainers. I like infusion, infusions, 304 food grade stainless steel, won't rust. This was pretty good information here. Here's another very similar product to what's in there. So let's have a look, see what we've got here. And as you can see, I've already highlighted something here that is of interest to us. Okay, it is of interest. So it's not a case of copying the competition. It's a case of looking at your competitors and trying to work out what they've got and pulling out the good parts so that you can actually put your own listing together. All right, so let's have a go back to the analyzer, see where we are. So, okay, we've now finished, okay, building out our 4,000. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 sections here. Each one's got 1,000 characters in. So therefore, we've got our 4,000 characters. And I know it's a little bit small. You can't see that, guys, but let me just zoom in, see if I can make that a little bit clearer for you. You should be able to see some of that now. All right, so up at the top here, we've got a small area where you can click on the terms in the 4K fields below to build your master list. All right, so watch what happens when I go T. All right, so we'll have T in our master list. Infuser, yes. Loose, leaf, set, gift. So you can now see that I'm actually starting to build up my master list. Mug, cup, glass, strainer. Let's have a look, see what else we've got. Herbal, infusers, stainless, steel. Yeah, so as you scan past all of these words, if these are relevant keywords, bearing in mind that we've got our master keyword down here, okay. So it's a bit of work with respect to cross-referencing this, going back to the analyzer, and building up your master keyword that way. Okay, so what I often do is I shall go through this top one, and then I shall go through my master list and just copy some of those words from that spreadsheet and put them into this section at the top here. Okay, so spoon, we need spoon in there. Infused, teas, tea and teas, it's 2 different words. Okay, Amazon do not automatically think tea is teas or teas is tea. They see that as 2 separate words. What else have we got down here? Brew, that's obviously a good one for if we're making tea. There's oolong, we talked about that earlier. Okay, so there's a few in there. And what you'll notice down here in this second one, if I just like stop here for a second, just pause here. Okay, and hopefully you'll be able to see that. What you can see here is the most appropriate and most common second language to English. Now, I can't recognize any of these, but I am assuming there's going to be something like Spanish. Okay. Excuse me. So if you want, you can actually put some of these into your keyword listing, or you could actually include these into the back end. You can certainly do that. Or it may actually help if you're doing a listing in Mexico, for example. All right, so they automatically put that in, and you can see all of these relevant keywords. A diffuser. Some of these are less relevant. I think that the more you get down to the bottom in the 4th section, the less relevant they are. The more relevant ones are going to be at the top here. So anyway, what you can see is what you need to be doing is working on a target of around 1,500 characters, and you can see we've got 103 out of the 1500 characters. Now, it doesn't mean to say that Amazon indexes all of those. I think we're working on around 250 to 300 characters for sure in the front end of the listing that are indexed. Okay, so we need to make sure that we are absolutely on point when we're talking about crafting out our title. For sure, it needs to be very, very relevant, because they are some of the words we're going to be using in our pay-per-click campaign later on. So let me go back to our master list, see if there's any other words there. See if I can just minimize this. So we've got a side by side. Okay, so we've got infuser, we've got infuser, double wall. We didn't get that, did we? Double wall glass. Let me copy that, put that in, see what happens there. See, that's gone in because I copied that as one. That's gone in as one. So I'm just going to take that out, and I'm just going to type it. Double wall. It doesn't like that. Okay, I've got to enter. Okay. Double enter. Ward. Us. Buses. What else do we need in there? Measuring. Let's have a look, see what else we've got in our master list as we're coming down. Well, I know a few of the things on here that I should be including. So let's try and build this out a little bit more. Bamboo, because I know this product comes with a bamboo lid. So bamboo, coaster. We've got infuser. We haven't got infusion. I like infusion. What about drink? Surely we've got to have drink. Come on, Paul. Drink. Okay. That's pretty okay. All right. So basically what you've got there now is something to be getting on with. Now, what you do now is just basically just simply download this. So you would download the master list and you would download the 4K list. Okay, and what I've done there is I do have that downloaded. So we can cross-reference that. Let me just pull this one up. Right, so you can see now that we've actually got our 4,000 characters in here. Okay, so all I've done is just downloaded that. I've got the master list in a separate list. So I just want to say, basically, we just download it into a Word document. That's how it downloads. All right, so just zoom into that. You'll be able to see exactly what we've got. All right, so all of these are individual words that we could use within our listing. Okay, but don't forget, we've actually pulled some of these out for our master listing. All right, so let's go over to the next tool. I need to zoom back out again. Hold on, guys. So I can see what we're doing. Right, so we've done that. Let's go over to the optimizer itself. Just wait for this to load. Right, all of the keywords. Okay, so all I'm going to do is go back to my downloaded document, which I downloaded earlier. and I'm going to copy and paste into all keywords. All right, so you don't want to be going too crazy, just the relevant keywords or your master keyword list. Okay, so these are the ones that I ultimately came up with. Okay, so once we've got here, what I need to do now, what I generally tend to do, is start to work on pulling up Amazon, right, and getting an idea of how to craft out a title. Okay, so let's have a look at some of the other products here. Now, this is a gift set that we're talking about, and it includes a number of different products, glassware tumblers being one of them, or gold cups. So I would look at this and see how they've crafted it out. So a double wall drinking glass, thermal tumbler cup for Turkish coffee. It's sort of relevant, but not relevant. So what we could do is just carry on searching for double walled glasses. So I want to keep this one. So I'm going to duplicate that and then do a search for tea gift sick with glasses. So let's have a look down, see what we've got. Here's that one that we're just looking at. This looks like candles. This one looks a pretty cool product. Let's have a look at that. Okay, it's got a few sales behind it, a few reviews. Okay, so large double wall mug with handle, perfect clear cup, tea, coffee, cappuccino, heat proof. Heat proof is good, insulating, keeps beverages hot. I like that. That looks pretty good. Is this listing all right? Yeah, it's not bad actually. It's got some good images. That first image is bold, it stands out. It's got a drink in it. The second one is clear. Yeah, it's reasonable. Okay. The bullet points are bullet points, and we're going to come to try and craft out our bullet points shortly. But let's have a look at the title first. Bearing in mind that this product is a tea gift set. All right, so we've got to think about, one, how we promote it, two, how people find it, three, what type of keywords that we want to get found. Yeah, in other words, what that relevancy is. So let's try and have a look at crafting out a title to start with. So let's go back to the analyzer. Now, the reason why we've got the all keywords in here, and you've got two other sections down here, used keywords and unused keywords. Okay, and you'll be able to see what happens when we've got the used keywords once we start typing. So in the title, okay, this is the most important aspect of your listing from a wording point of view, from a copy point of view, because it's the words here that get indexed 100%. Okay, this is what gets your product found, not your images. Your images are what sell a product or make people stop as they're scrolling. Okay, but it's your title that gets found by the Amazon algorithm. So let's have a look. We know that this is a loose leaf tea gift set, so let's start with that. Loose. Okay, so you can now see that the first word has come out of all, has gone into used. Okay, and it would have been deleted from here because we've used it, therefore it's no longer in the unused. Okay, so you can see here now that we can start to really optimize our keywords, and we'll be able to find out which one's being used or not as we move on. Okay, so loose leaf tea. I like to capitalize in the title. Gift set. What does it come with? With two walled glass. I'm going to go glass, not glasses. Tea mugs with bamboo lids. Right, so let's see how we're doing now. I need to capitalize on the LEDs. But you can see now, okay, the beauty of this is don't worry about the color coding. It's just random colors. Okay, but what it's showing me is I'm already using some of the words here. And I've also got a few words in here that I haven't got in my keywords, like walled, double walled. Okay, now if I put that up into the top here, okay, walled as one of my keywords, you can now see that's now being included in that list. Okay, and you can now see that as colored. And basically the color coding just allows you to visually check and see where you are. Okay, so that's pretty good. What else have we got? We've got some airtight containers or canisters with this set. So we're going to go airtight canisters. They're included in the keywords. They've now just been dropped into the used. So that's good. Try not to, where possible, double up on words. I know I've got T in there twice, but it sort of makes sense, yeah, because there's loose leaf T gift set, and then I'm going on with whatever it is. Now, I could actually leave out T and just go double walled glass mugs. I might do it actually. So get rid of T there, because Amazon, it'll only see it once. Okay, it won't say, "Oh, blimey, T that is mentioned about 5 times. It really must be important." No, it doesn't work like that. It only recognizes it if you've got in there 10 times. It'll only see, well, T's in there once. That's all right. So we'll recognize that as a one word. And then that will check the rest of the title for the other words that it needs to check for. So don't go duplicating where unnecessary. And this is the beauty of coming through here on this color coding and crafting out like this. Right, so what else have we got? We've got those stainless steel infusers. I could put tea infusers, but there's no point because I've already got tea in there. So if somebody's putting in stainless steel tea infuser, right, this title covers that because I've got stainless steel T over the back end here, and then infuser here. So from the A9 algorithm point of view, it will recognize that as a broad term, and it will say, you know what, this title's got all of those words in there. We better show this listing to this potential buyer because that's what they put into the search thing. All right, so that's important to understand that. And it's a stainless steel measuring spoon, but there's no point in putting stainless steel again. So I'm just going to put measuring spoon. All right, so that is it. That's my title done. Okay. Now what I would do then is have a look at that. I've got with. That's not a word that's indexed. The number 2, I'm not worried about that. But everything else, I've got covered from my keyword point of view. All right. Now, what I'm going to do is just jump over. I've got this open twice. Okay. In fact, I'm going to open up again. Back to the indexing. And I want to show you what the indexing section is about. Now, this indexing, before I actually move on to the bullet points. Okay. So, right, we're now in our indexer. So, Amazon.com. We need to find an ASIN, and we need to find some keywords. And we need to find out what is being indexed or not. And this is where I do a little bit of research on the Amazon products. Now, here's our competitor that's selling just the glass mugs. Okay, so I'm going to take his ASIN. Now I can find the ASIN up in the URL at the top here. It's the B0, whatever it is. So it's that one there. Or I can scroll down to the bottom or close to the bottom where it's got the description in here. Okay, product information, and you should be able to find the ASIN. There it is. Okay, so I'm going to double click on that. Okay, I'm going to go back over to the analyzer. I'm going to drop that into here. And then I'm going to go and find the keywords. All right, so what I'm going to do now is basically take his title, or that seller's title, to see if that title, all of those words there, are being indexed. All right, because there's a few words in here, don't forget, that we're quite interested in. All right, so if I can just drop those in there, you can put 1,000 characters in here, so obviously we've got less than that. But if I just do the search, that's going to now go off and cross-reference inside of Amazon to see if these words are indexed on this particular listing. All right, now it does take a little bit of time because it's going back into Amazon to actually do this. But you can see us now processing. And I think the T Lyra is the potential of the brand. We've got a hyphen there. That's even indexed. Very good. Zeus indexed. 13.4 ounce is indexed. Set of 2 large double indexed. Okay. So, like I said, it's normally there's 100% of the title is indexed from an Amazon algorithm point of view. And this is why it's important that we work on our title carefully to make sure it's relevant and it includes keywords that we are interested in advertising for later. Okay, so we're almost done. About 80% at a guess. So we can now see that all of our words that we were thinking about picking up as insulating, tea, mug, glass, double, wall. Okay, so you can see now 100% finished, 100% indexed. His title, right, is 100% indexed. So all of these words are indexed for his listing or this particular seller's listing. All right, so this is basically what we need to aim for. Now, obviously, we haven't got a listing up yet because we're still crafting it. Okay, but this is what we need to work on. Yeah, make sure that we've got everything indexed where we can. Right, so let's go back to crafting out our bullet points. So from the bullet points, from an indexing point of view, we know that the title's indexed 100%. From a bullet point of view, you got 5 bullets here. Okay, you got 5 opportunities. They are being indexed around 80 to 85%. So 85% of the words within your bullets will be indexed. That's as it stands at the moment. That could well change in the near future. Who knows? Amazon changes almost on an hourly basis, it feels sometimes. Okay, so what I do now is, because we're into bullet mode, what I try and do, again, just come back to your competitors' products and have a look at, see what they're doing, see how they're crafting out their listings, and get some inspiration, not copy, but inspiration with respect to how they're doing it. Okay. Now, is this relevant? Well, yeah, because we've got a double walled glass within the set. And we've got 2. Okay. So you've also got down here, let me zoom in, see if I can get that a little bit clearer for you guys. Okay. Great gift. Are you looking for original and useful gift for friends? Well, that could be pretty generic. And that's pretty good. So that's all down here. Loved one opportunity to enjoy taste and flavors of freshly brewed tea. Excellent. So we could use something like that, for example. Perfect for hot and cold drinks. Contemporary glass. Homemade glass, double wall glass, or handmade, sorry, not home. Perfect for coffee, tea, iced coffee, cold drinks. Each mug holds 400 milliliters. Here's the 13.5 ounce. I think that was indexed in the title, wasn't it? If we remember. All right, so basically what we're doing here is just trying to do some research to get some inspiration to craft out our bullet points. Okay, tea infusers. All right, so we've got some information here. We've got the 304 food grade stainless steel, safe and won't rust. Many teas. Okay, so you can basically use some of these words here in order to craft out your own listing. Nothing wrong with that at all. It's not good policy, is it, guys? Come on, to basically just copy and paste all of this. That's just not right. But there's nothing wrong with taking piece of that, piece of that, piece of that, piece of that, putting your own spin on it, right, in order to generate your own really good listing. Okay. Certain areas within here, for example, that's pretty good. Okay. Hand blown, high quality. Okay, I might use something like that. What else have we got? Okay, this is the canisters. All right. So, which is pretty good. I could use something like this on the top here. All right, so basically what I'm doing is pulling together some ideas so I can actually craft together. There's another double walled glass. All right, so basically what I'm doing is I'm just browsing over these, having a look at some of the keywords, how the bullet points look, what's included. I'm also going to be looking at the images, because if I haven't got my listing together yet, or I haven't done my images, or even if I have done my images, I may need to redo them or retouch them in order to think, you know what, this listing is better than my images. Therefore, I think I better improve my images. So let's go back to this original one over here. Okay, these glasses look pretty good. That's a pretty good first image. I'm just going to go through the first images, because basically you can see the first image pops out as the first thing you see when you're scrolling down. And if you're looking for a gift set, I think this is could do a better job. I think tea inside the glass looks better. This looks like a bit of a gift set going on over here on the right hand side here. Look. Yeah. So we can have a look at that as a listing opportunity. Okay, so that's got a few things going on. It looks like it's got a teapot, a glass, measuring spoon, canister, something similar to what we're looking at. And again, we can have a look at that. Best collection, design, multifunctional, safe, lifetime warranty. Okay, so all of these ideas I'm going to be pulling in for inspiration in order to write my bullet points within the listing. Now, don't forget that I've got my keywords here. Now, as I'm going through some of the, and don't forget I've already got over 1,000 keywords in my master list here that I could be using. I could also be coming back doing my research and think, oh, you know what? I don't think I've seen the words essentials. Okay, I like the word essentials. Let's say that there's no harm in you copying that and putting that into your keywords. All right, so you can always, this is a living document. Okay, what you got to try and do is make the best listing you can, and one of the best ways to do that is draw inspiration from some of your competitors. Like I say, it's not good practice just to copy and paste, guys. But you know, use other people's listings, use their knowledge for inspiration, potential keywords. You know, tea lover. You know, I didn't put that in. I didn't even think about tea lover. So it was just pretty good. So some of these things that you could actually use to improve your listing. So anyway, let's go back to the listing now and see what we can do with bullet points. And again, once you see the bullet points, what I like to do here is try and put a capitalized headline followed by a short, brief statement. Now, you got 500 characters available. I try and keep that a lot less than that, a lot less. Try and bullet point as opposed to long form copy. So I'm just going to put the caps on. Perfect for your brewer. Okay, so that's basically what we're saying here. This set is perfect for your brewer. Okay, so that's my capitalization. I'm now going to come standard sentence text, set of 2. So you can now see that as I'm typing, the keywords are now being used up in the bullet points as well. Okay, I did actually do this earlier, so same typing. I'm just going to copy and paste that, so we don't need the hyphen on the end. So we can now see that I've got a lot of the ones in here, so are perfect for your brewer. A set of 2 double-walled boracosiliate glass insulated tea mugs with bamboo lids, 2 airtight storage containers, set of 2 tea infusers with drip trays, and a free tea measuring spoon. Okay, that's a quick description of what's going on, all in one bullet point. Now, what I have seen in the past is each of these sections is each with a bullet point, so therefore you're using up all of your bullet points just to explain what's going on. Now, I know we've already got some of that in the title, but this is some of the information that I want to get indexed for, and I will be using as part of my pay-per-click campaign potentially. All right, so you need to be smart with respect to how to get your title together, how to get your bullet points. Now, I'm going through this, and I'm going to do some copy and paste in a minute, guys, because you know I'm limited on time. But when you're doing this, take your time. You know, do it, come back to it, do it, come back to it. And what you can see here is you can actually copy these, so you can copy and paste it into your Word document, Google Drive, whatever you're using, and come back to it and revisit it and basically fine tune the message that you're putting across. Okay, so let me just do another copy and paste here on bullet point 2, and you can see now that even more of my keywords are being used and are getting less and less in my unused keywords. Okay, now here's one I did earlier as well. So this is one particular bullet point that I used from one of the listings that we looked at a minute ago, but I changed some of the elements in there and added a few extra of my words. So it's not exactly the same, but it's pretty good inspiration. Thank you very much, sir. And again, you can see I'm now down to 75 characters of unused keywords out of my master list. All right, so which is pretty good. And once you're down to the bottom here, I've only got 2 more bullet points to do, and if I've still got some keywords in the unused section, I can then evaluate where you would go in here and say, you know what, I really need drink in there. I need to like put that in. So let's finish this off and see how we get on with those unused keywords at the end. Now, if anybody's got any questions, because I'm on my own, I haven't been able to catch up on the questions, but I'll take time out to have a look at those in a second. So if you've got any questions, please leave them in the chat, and I should check that in a minute and come back to you. Right, so let's have a look at the last one. And then let's have a look at our unused keywords. Excuse me. All right, so we've got box, cups, containers, storing, and seal that are not used, that we've actually identified as these are our keywords. Okay, so if we really want, we could go back in and have a look, see where we can actually thread these or use these particular keywords in the bullet points. Okay, now you can see the length of my bullet points is probably half of what is available. Okay, the title, I try to keep the title fairly short these days, particularly as a lot of people are actually doing their shopping on mobile devices. So that's pretty good. So if you got to think about that, it's the first 80 characters will show up on your mobile device. So if you've got a smartphone, whether it be Android or iPhone, it's about 80 characters. So basically what you need to do is get in the relevant information in the first 80 characters. Now I'm not going to count them up, but it's probably about that set in there in the orange. So we know that we've got a loose leaf tea gift set with 2 double wall glass mugs. That's pretty okay for if somebody's interested in buying that or looking for that particular product. They know they've landed on the right product. Okay, 201 out of 500. So basically what you do now is just copy this and paste it into a Word document, which I've done here. Okay, which I've been copying from because I've done this earlier. So all of my keywords here. Okay, so I've copied those. This is the title. Bullet point 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, what I would do now, all right, and this is what I do now, all right, I'll sleep on it. And then I'll come back and revisit and read it again and see if I can make it better. Okay, I won't just like, right, done, excellent, fantastic, let's throw that up. I'll try and improve upon it. I'll always try and come back to it again. I'll revisit, and I shall clearly going to spend a lot longer than what I did, because I didn't actually spend too long just browsing through these keywords. All right, these keywords, don't forget, is what the analyzer gave us to start with. All right, so I may see something on here, decaf loose leaf tea. I might go and do that as a search for a keyword research and see what the results come up with there, and then start to analyze and really drill down with respect to what are the real keywords that I need. Do I need infuser stick? No, I probably don't need stick because that's not relevant to my product. Tea infuser, infusion, infusing. Yes, I like that. Best. Yeah, best is pretty good. Decaf, maybe. But some of these words that I would actually go off and go, okay, let's go and do a search on this. Yeah, I know that decaf loose leaf tea is only searched 9,407 times a month. Okay, and it's got a 2.59 relevancy score. Okay, is it worth going for? Should I put that into my listing anywhere? And that's something you need to really have a look at and analyze with respect to some of these other ones. Loose leaf tea at just under 500,000. Okay, so basically that's where you are with respect to how to optimize your listing. Use this. Okay, and don't forget we had over here our indexing. Once you've got your product up and running, okay, leave it for a bit and then come back and check to see what you're indexed for. Okay, really important to understand what you're indexed for, because there's no point in sending traffic, in other words, paid advertising, to a keyword that Amazon doesn't even know it exists. All right, you've got to be indexed. Okay, this title is indexed. So, for example, if I put in double wall glass mug, all right, so if I put that in to the search bar in Amazon, this listing will be seen by the A9 algorithm because each of these words are indexed. Okay, now it just so happens if this particular seller is doing a pay-per-click campaign and he's using double wall glass mug as one of his long-tail keywords or his targeted keywords, there's a good chance that one is going to be in the sponsored spot, sponsored ad place. Let me show you that. At the top here, there's a couple of sponsored places around here. Let's go and search for it, actually. Oops. Put up the right keyword. There we go. Double wall glass mug. If I'm not mistaken, that looks pretty much like it there. Okay, so we can see now that what we were trying to find, I think this was the guy, wasn't it? Okay, but we can see now that all of these keywords here are, or all of these products are being shown to me because I put double wall glass mug in the search bar. Consequently, this term here, double wall glass mug, is indexed on each of these products. Each of these listings, those keywords are in there somewhere. And Amazon recognizes that, and it's showing them to me and said, hey, Paul, do you mean this? How about buying something like this? What about this one? This is a nice one. Now, me as a buyer, I'm going to be scrolling down thinking, what's the shape? What's the image like? This is exactly what I'm doing now. Oh, excuse me. So I'm not reading anything. I'm just looking at the images. I quite like to look at this one myself. Did I stop on that one particular one at the top? No, I didn't. But this is the bestseller. It's got the bestseller badge. Is it worth looking at? Yeah, for sure. Amazon thinks it's a bestseller. It's a good product. So therefore, you're going to click on it. Okay. And there we are. So that is how, basically, you generate your listing. Okay. So I've generated this. I've got my keywords here. I've got my 4,000 characters in the back end here. Okay. Each of these sections is 1,000 characters long. Okay. That's all been done for me. I've got my master list keywords. Okay. So I've got over 1,000 keywords here at the moment. And I think I can actually increase that if I needed. Basically, what that means, you need to spend time. You need to spend time going through this. Now, what I tend to do is just highlight the ones that I like, okay, in a different color. Okay, so I'll probably do that. A sort of tea gift set is not relevant. Loose tea gift set. Yeah. So, I would personally go through it and highlight, and I would read every single one of these and look at the relevancy score, look at the search results, and think, you know what? It's tea infused vodka. No, not interested in that. Not interested in that. Not interested in that. And go through each of these and actually highlight the ones I'm interested in, and then make sure those are being used in my listing, or at least in my keywords. All right. So it does take a little bit of time. I know I've not whizzed through this a little bit quickly, but it's still an hour's worth of research. And hopefully you've understood why using a tool, something like AZoptimizer, is so much easier than trying to do it on your own. Because one, it gives you the keywords to start with. You can have a look at the competitors' indexing, see what their keywords are indexed for or not. It helps you with the 4K. There's no way that you'll be able to sit down and do that manually. Well, I dare say you could, but it's just take forever. And this optimizing each of these sections down here, it's just gold mine. It really is great. Okay. And what you can do then is just copy paste, and build up your master template here. Okay. Now, like I said, what I would generally do here is sleep on it. So I'd save this. Okay, save, make sure I saved it. And I would come back to it and say, right, does this really make sense now? And read it again and say, you know what, I'm going to change that around. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Okay. And I'll go back into the optimizer and help and let that tool help me. All right. So hopefully that was okay for getting started. Let me go through the questions, guys. Nice to see you all here again. Thank you very much for turning up and listening to me. Gary says, hello, what's the app's name for the optimizing keywords? Well, I'm using this AZoptimizer. Let me pull up the slide. Let me pull up the software actually, and go to the back end. Let me go to the home page. On here, Gary, you can see what it is. We do have a link, and if you do purchase through us, we will sit down. Rob or I will go through it with you just to make sure you're happy and you can actually use it. So that's one advantage. And just to be clear that we do get a small commission if you do buy through our link. But like I said, we will sit down with you if required and go through it with you just to make sure you're familiar and you can use the products safely. So if you want to go and get that, it's let me just drop that into the chat for you, because it is a really good tool. It's my go-to tool at the moment. I use it for everything. All right, team, that's taken up just over an hour. I hope that was useful. So those people that are in the situation with respect to getting the listing up, if you haven't got the AZoptimizer, it is a great tool. It will help you. If you haven't got it, just go off and do it manually. Go and research your competitors' products. Have a look at what they're using, what they're doing. Have a look at their search keywords. Use that as inspiration. Don't just copy and paste, copy and paste. That's not ethical. But use that as inspiration is perfectly fine. Go off and do that. Get your listing up. If you want us to have a look at the listing, we can give you some feedback on that. So that's no problems. Just drop us a mail. You know where to find us. We're in the Facebook group, YouTube, and those who are in the Gorillaz boot camp, you've got direct access to Rob and I anyway. All right, team, that's my lot. I hope you enjoyed that, and I shall be talking to you same time next week. Until then, take care.